Lilac Girls by Martha Hall Kelly. Now, this is a historical fiction book, but it's based on true events and true characters. So two of the main characters, just they use their real names in real life. And then the third one they based on another real life person. So this took place during World War II and then afterwards. And I'm going to talk about the three different characters. So the first one is Kasia. She is a Polish teenager. And she lived in Poland when Germany invaded Poland. And instantly everything there was scary. So her friends started turning up missing, and people went into hiding. And so she started working for the resistance. And it was a scary time working for the resistance because anybody could be your eyes and ears and could tell on you. So during one of her errands, she was followed back by a German soldier, and she was followed back to her place of employment, and she led them right to her mom and to her sister. So those three girls were taken captive, and they were put in a castle, in like a holding cell, for a day. And then afterwards, the next day, they were put onto a train, and there was like 100 women put onto one train car, and they were just shoved in there, and had to go somewhere, and they had no idea where they were going. So the journey lasted like over a day, and when they got out, they were hit and whipped and berated immediately. And they were at Ravensbrück, which is a concentration camp for women. And right after they got out, they were immediately put into two different lines. So one line was they lived, and one line was they were injected with something that would kill them immediately. So these German doctors would do this. And then while she was there, Kasia had to endure something, and actually quite a few women. It was almost, I think it was like around 40 women had to endure this act, this inhumane act that happened, and it's just crazy. And that's Kasia. So she's trying to live through the concentration camp and survive what happened to her while she was there. The second main character is Herta, and Herta is a German doctor. She's a lady, and she's having a hard time getting a job. So she finds a job at what she was told was a work camp up north. So she got on a train, went to this little town, and ended up being this Ravensbrück, a concentration camp. And when she was there, she immediately saw how wrong things were, but it was just more male dominance, and she watched it and then helped do it, and then really started to be more of the aggressor and did stuff. So this whole act with Herta, she was a really big part of what happened to Kasia. And then the third main character is Caroline, and she is a socialite from New York City. So she used to be famous, and now she just does a lot of stuff with trying to raise money. And she was trying to raise money in the beginning of the book for French orphans. So there was orphans of the war, and she was really focusing on doing everything she could for them. But then she heard about this group of women from Ravensbrück. They called that group the Rabbits because something happened to them. That's the group that Kasia is in. And she started to do anything she could to help these rabbits. So this book talks all about these acts and how these three women are kind of grouped together and how this relationship forms between them. I've read a lot of concentration camp books, and I've never read anything where they talk about the stuff, these acts that were committed, and it's just heart-wrenching. But it was a fabulous, fabulous book. You should really read it because you should really find out what happened and then really what happened to that doctor, because it's amazing what happened to that doctor at the end.